Okay, I think we're live. Yep.
Okay, let me double check still. Come on. Come on, YouTube, you can do it.
Yeah, and audio is live too, I think. So it should work.
Okay, looks like we're good there.
Okay.
I just need to redo my chat. For some reason, it decided it wanted to freeze the video on my side from the stream, but it didn't. It was still counting up. So,
Hello, Pete Bog.
hello, Pete Bug. How are
Welcome.
you?
Yeah. Some wonderful leisurely time between Christmas and New Year's. Hello, Dave. Thank you for coming in, lurking. Have a good meeting. Yep.
Guild Superior.
Yep.
Hello, hello, hello.
So I'm going to work on my Southern Shieldlands map today, and I'll start out a little bit with forest, but then the most part I want to do roads, buildings, and some villages and stuff like that. Civilization, the most fun part of the mapping, building covered like here and so on with forest, because I've been gearing up. I have some good brushes and stuff for it, so I feel like I'm in the if I can just remember to switch the right layer, I feel like I'm in the right spot for doing that.
Okay, got that laid out.
Oops. And I need to use the right brush and so. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, we're working on it here. So I'm only a few hours left to work on this map. So I'm getting there. This one is it's about 80% done now.
We're trying to.
Yep.
Is my thing.
And
I'm
this
doing
is
my best.
Yeah, this is the third one I'm doing. So this is still kind of late prototype. I mean beta stage. I'm still early beta. I'm still kind of working out new features and tweaking it. I added a layer for reads and stuff. So it's still coming. Hello,
Lord
Jay.
Kazumba, hello.
Thank you for coming. Yep.
Thank you for lurking if you're going to lurk. I'm perfectly happy with that.
He just says hi, so that's good. Yep.
Lurky, lurky.
Let's see. I'm going to start out with the South Keep area. And the South Keep is one of these places that was named in the Living Greyhawk campaign, so I just adopted that name for my campaign as well.
It's kind of a cool name, South Keep. I mean, it's a common name, like you see a lot of that in fiction and stuff. As North Keep, West Keep, East Keep, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, and
you see a lot of that.
Yeah, and each country or realm have their own northeast and west, so to speak. So it's the usually northeast, south, or west of the capital or whatever center reference point they have. So yeah. So this is South Keep because it's south of Critwall and it's in the very south of the Shieldlands. So that's why it's South Keep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This. This is kind of the almost final part in making. I'm going to open it up in World Machine while I'm talking here. So let's see here. So I have my existing map here. So this is the one that has been around for almost 2 decades here. So I'm taking this Southern Shieldlands that was part of my campaign, and then I'm going to per mile. I'm going to 1 pixel per 5 feet. That was the idea.
And yes, Pete-Bug, that's normally what happens. Your actual directions don't have a thing to do with where you're actually living.
Yeah. So the first thing I do, I take this part of the map here and copy, save a copy of it and put it in World Machine as a guide map, and then I work in World Machine to create the South Keep terrain viewer. That's the one I want. So I create the 3D terrain in World Machine. And so first I do the terrain of a large area, and then I render that in pieces. And then I take the basic terrain back into World Machine, and then I tweak the textures and the forests and stuff. And that's the part I'm doing now, so to speak. So here I have the area in 3D, so I can render this, and so I can have it as a reference, so I can see the 3D layout, and I'm editing the texture in, because I can only do so much tweaks and edits and stuff for like roads and where I want trees. Vegetation is hopefully something I can do procedurally, almost all of it in the future, which will speed up things significantly. But right now I'm not, I both my skills are not really good enough, and also the tools aren't really good enough. So it's a combination of my skills and the tools. But the tools are getting better, and I'm getting better. First, I've created the elevation and rendered it out, and then I do the primitive textures in World Machine, and I render them out. Then I take them into Photoshop and work on the edit where I want forest, and I tweak the textures. That's the procedure I do in here. And once I've done this bit here, I import these textures and stuff back into World Machine, and I do a final render in World Machine where I render forests, buildings, roads, and all of that into here. So you can see trees or little poppy things, all of that. So you can actually see buildings and trees and all that. And I render the lighting and shading file on top of it, import that into Photoshop, and I have the final map, and it looks gorgeous once all the steps are in, so to speak. So this is just for me to be able to see where I put things here. So these trees and stuff here are just flat on the map, but in the final thing they will be little trees that actually stick out. So you can see a little bit of the difference here, because I have an area on this map to the right where I actually have the final. So if you look here, you can see what there is, the just top down like this. This is what the final map will look like. You have trees and stuff. Now I'm zooming in a little bit too much. And there's actually buildings and stuff, like here there are buildings sticking up, you have roads, trees, and you can see that the roads cut into the terrain, and they have little banks and stuff. Solution here is 1 pixel is 5 feet, which makes it possible to take this map straight into VTT, blow it up 10 times, and start moving tokens around. It's not perfect, but it's damn good. You get the whole campaign world basically, and you can take any part and just say that, well, there's an ambush along the road here, so you have an ambush here somewhere. You can just take a small piece here, blow it up 10 times, tokens around, and you basically see everything around. As a DM, you get full view. You can put tokens and see how long will it take the orcs to come from far away to come here, so to speak. You can calculate marching times and stuff over days. The character party can get lost and stuff, and so there's a whole bunch of possibilities. So that's the minute rundown on the process of this. And then I can take these detailed maps that are blown up 10 times and then sketch them up, touch them up a little bit, and I have village maps, city maps, and stuff like that, area maps. Hello, Justinius, welcome.
Hello, hello.
Yep. So this and so I render an area that is 64 times or 32 times bigger than this. This is an area that is 15 miles across. And I did 150 miles in World Machine at a time. So I render what they call 64K. It's 64,000 pixels across. So it's 64,000 5 feet squares in every direction. Then I work on 16,000 across at a time in Photoshop, because I can put in 64,000 pixels, but even on 16,000 size chunks, so to speak. And that's why I have these areas around, so I can take a little bit of the area from the neighboring square and put them in. So I do tile processing. Oh, thank you, Dave. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a way of getting setting maps for the whole setting, so to speak, or not the whole setting, but for a whole 20 miles from every direction from the city, where you can get every tree, every little place, so to speak. So I'm just putting in stuff. I'm going to put in roads here. You can see some fields and stuff like that. So I'm putting them in,
And I'm just playing with my Legos.
oh yeah, but you're doing even more detailed. Meaning here I have 5 feet per pixel. Meaning you can see every nail in the boards there. So your detail level is even 10 times better than what I'm working on.
It is, but yours sounds more impressive.
Well,
I'm just putting pieces together. I'm not modeling anything of my own, so.
well, yeah. This is built from the ground up, so to speak.
And
So yeah,
that's what I mean. Yours is built from the ground up, and mine is just somebody else's work that I'm putting together. So,
yeah.
I am working on 3D stuff. I actually started working on my farmhouse that I started from my farmhouse from my childhood. I finally got the dimensions down on that, and I'm working on that now again. So
Okay, cool. Yeah.
that is going to be actually an active project that I'm going to make into a farming simulator map, I think. I'm not
Ah,
sure yet.
that sounds like a great idea.
Um,
Yeah,
it's going to be a tricky one though because I know nothing about Giants Editor. So,
yeah. But you have people that do know, hopefully, that you
oh
can
yeah,
reach out
there's
to.
a huge community of stuff
Mm-hmm.
people that
Yeah.
work with it. So, but I'm just excited to try something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so archaic versus Unreal Engine. It's crazy. So,
Oh yeah, once you start using tools that are really kind of a joy to work with, that sets standards, and all of a sudden you don't want to work with old crappy tools again. So it's kind of,
yeah,
yep,
yeah, exactly what's going on. And that's where I'm sitting right now is like, I wish they would upgrade their engine to be more like Unreal,
yeah.
but I understand why they haven't.
Then they have full control over it, that no one else can
Yep,
kind of stop developing it, and dependencies and stuff like
yep,
that. So yeah.
exactly. And I get it. I mean, I
Oh yeah.
understand why they do
Mm-hmm.
it
Yep.
100%. It's just that you have to understand a lot of XML to
Yeah.
understand what they're doing with theirs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. And here I'm working on the trees and stuff. So I'm putting trees along rivers and creeks, and I'm also putting them where you have these kind of where water. Because I have that the Shieldlands in general is a fairly dry area. It's usually too dry for forest to cover the whole place. So it's a little bit too dry to be covered with forest, but as soon as there's a little bit more than average water in the ground, then trees pop up, so to speak. And it's also been an area, especially down here in the south, that have been people have lived here for quite a while too, for at, at least a couple of thousand years. That means that there are trees in that follow the creeks and rivers and around little lakes and stuff. So that's why I'm putting it, and in other little nooks and crannies, and also higher up in the hills there are also more trees, because the humidity is usually higher. So when you come up, and we're not talking mountains here, we're talking hills that are maybe 1,500 to 2,500 feet tall, high or something. So meaning that the hills in Shieldlands are so small that they're not on the the Darlene map or anything. But if you go to the right here, there are some hills here, Syrian hills, and these are maybe 1,800 feet tall or something like that. Not these are probably more like in the 1,000 feet range, but there are some further north up here, and a few others here that might reach maybe 2.5. Working my way through these areas here. So yeah.
of course, my throat has to go every time we start streaming.
Oh yeah, I have some strawberry lemonade here, so I can kind of sip on that
I'm
when
sipping
needed.
on a cup of coffee because I am like super tired, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just one of those things. It does that.
Yep.
My
And
body has to be a poop now and then.
yep. And here I put me on top for a second here. Sources. I'm going to put me on top while I'm talking about this. So I'm on the brush. I use shape dynamics, scattering, and texture in order to get the pencil that put little individual trees. And I don't use the brush. I use the pencil because that gives me white and black pixels, pure white and black, not some fuzzy in between. So for the trees, that seems to work better. So what I'm doing here is I'm painting in the tree mask. But in order to make it look prettier, I've actually put a layer of green texture on top of it. But what I will use in World Machine, I will just export the mask. And the mask I'm painting actually looks like this. So I just paint this, but this is so boring to look at, so I'm actually putting some texture and some shading and stuff like that on top of it, so to make it look pretty. So and the good thing is you don't have to be particularly precise. You can just, this is something you should be kind of a little bit haphazard with when you do this, because trees, they grow a little bit haphazardly here and there.
Yeah, when I do the terrain for this, I'm just going to be painting the terrain like you're doing. I'm going to set parameters of how close I want the trees, how dense I want the trees and things, and then in the Hommlet area.
Yeah, but I have a general mask here that tells me where trees can grow. So there are places like here, there are water, and here the slopes are too high, or it's rocky areas or something. So even if I just paint over with the mask completely with white, then there are still areas there will be no trees. So it's only possible for me to paint in trees where they could possibly grow, so to speak. So I've established that in World Machine, where can trees grow. So that now I can. Yep.
Okay. Now to hide the seam on the building. Since he's a Wainwright, he's going to have a couple wagon wheels on the front of his building.
And I also use the pressure sensitivity in the Wacom, so the harder I press, the more trees I get. So that way I can do tiny piece of just 1 or 2 trees, and then I can, oh, come on here. Yeah. Something, now I need to, there. The buffer got full, so from time to time the buffer, I get buffer overflow issues. I don't know exactly why that happens. Oh.
This isn't exactly to hide this, but it's just to kind of distract your eye from the difference in textures. Yeah, that looks okay. I'll have enough stuff growing on there. I'll put a little bit of act. They're actually really dark. They barely show.
So?
That should be alright.
Yeah, and I have layers for river texture and lake texture and stuff. And that's the other good thing. I can use a pencil for trees, and then I can use the brush for all the other stuff. That way I can go back and forth without having to tweak, because they're independent settings. For the pencil has its own settings, and the brush has its own settings. So that's another really smart little nifty thing.
Merge actors.
There we go. I can put some.
And merged buildings. Yep,
Yeah.
certainly do need a big fire pit. And that is part of the set dressing after I finish building the things. When I start putting, excuse me. When I start putting all the details in, I'm just trying to get the main build. So, and then I need to go through and make sure that it's not, the textures aren't so system dependent that it freezes the whole thing as soon as you load it. So
yep. I think I have a little bit too much stuff running here, so I'm
building. I'm just gonna call Wainwright for right now.
I don't need QGIS, so I can kill that. There we go. And
Wainwright is there.
To be honest, I don't need Discord on this machine either, so I can skip that too. There we go.
And then we're just gonna go delete.
That would free up a little bit of resources. There we go.
No. Will you stop? Computer, stop it. There you go.
Keeps asking you stuff. Yeah.
Yes, it's like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, they're needy sometimes, and it usually ask you when you don't want when you already know what you're doing. It's
Yep.
when you don't know what you're doing, that's when it never asks, and afterwards you just
And
suffer the
I actually had
consequences.
that happen in Icarus. I was telling you before stream.
Yeah,
My buddy Freaky and I had like 10 hours into a world,
yeah,
and somehow or another I clicked the wrong button and deleted the entire world. I was
yeah.
so mad.
It was like I remember
Um,
back in DOS days when if you want to copy a file, then it always came up. Are you sure you want to copy this file? But if you wanted to format or delete everything, it never asked. It
yeah, it
just
was just
happened.
like I remember those days, and oh man,
Yeah.
I've done
It
so
was
many bad things.
which idiot came up with putting a warning sign when you copy delete? I think there was no warning sign, so a warning come up and it didn't ask you. It just deleted the
Let's
whole thing.
see.
Yeah.
Edit. Delete. Yeah, it was yeah,
They
I've
were
seen that
tired
happen a
of
lot
having
though.
say yes when they deleted thousands of files or something. So yeah.
And to be quite honest, I don't miss those days at all.
No, I love computers nowadays. I don't miss the old days, so to speak.
All
I'm
right,
not that
switch
much
back
of a nerd.
over.
I love that. I want a little bit more advanced, but now I'm so happy because now I'm
Oops.
starting to have the tools I've always dreamt of.
Save.
So
I'm a nerd through and through, but I don't miss those days of the old DOS and stuff.
no,
DOS
this
was a
is the
nightmare.
computers. These are the computers I want to have. Settings right. It was like it was as close to nirvana you a nerd can flying nerd can be without sitting in a plane for real. That was like wow. I
Let's
could
see. I
have
gotta bring up.
I can have dynamic
Stuff.
level of details. All of a sudden
Come
there
on.
was a little plugin that helped you could
Stuff.
set the level of detail dynamically. So when you came up at higher altitude, you can get more and lower the
Easier,
details. So
faster, just to
you can
do
get good
this.
frame rates. And ooh, that was so cool. I was up 10,000 feet and I saw every
Bring up.
bush
Thank
and it
you.
looked gorgeous. And then I could dive down and come really low and it was buttery smooth at 60 frames per second. And I was like, yes. It
Nice.
was awesome. In VR, I basically maxed out the settings, almost maxed out the settings when I was about 5,000 feet, and it looked absolutely good. I think I was down to like 3,500 feet, and it looked good.
Yes, Pete Buck, stop helping. I want to delete that, but just do it, all right?
Yep,
Just do it. I'm sure. That game, Icarus, does not have a confirmed delete world, though.
yep. In
And
my
it's the enter world and delete world buttons are like
Yep,
right above each other. So
yep.
if you're not right on with your mouse, you hit delete world and it's like, and the world's gone. It's just like,
Yeah.
okay.
In my most cynical moments, I'm thinking that software is either written, and I'm not really sure which one is worst. Is the worst, so to
Both.
speak. Yep,
Yep, yep.
yep,
I tend to agree on that one.
yep.
Let's see. Wainwright is that 28? I think that was 28. Into the welcome wedge. Not what I want to look at. I want to see 28. A large building with signs showing a saw and hammer. That's the Carpenter Manor House. But, okay, that's 26 is the Wainwright. Yes, 26 is the Wainwright. Okay. What's the line about programmers and architects? I don't know, Pete Bug. What is that
Yeah,
line?
you have to. Now I'm getting really curious here. So, yeah. Hello,
Farley
Varl.
Gem?
Welcome. Good
Eh,
to see you again.
yeah. Well, it's enter world and delete world, like stacked on top of each other, like with no space. I'm like, seriously? I was on chat with my buddy Freaky at the time, and I said, I want to cry. And he goes, why? I said, because I just deleted our world. He goes, oh,
Yep.
man. I
But
said, yep.
yeah, but today I can't complain. I haven't had any computer issues today whatsoever. And when Microsoft Flight's experience for an hour, I'm so happy.
Yeah,
That
and
made my
you
day.
can't tell she's a flying nerd, can you guys?
Yeah. And someone sent me $50 on PayPal today out of the blue, so that was
Nice.
another wonderful thing. So that was
Buildings the way
awesome.
the program is built, but it's the first woodpecker comes. Oh yeah, absolutely. They destroy it.
Yep.
I'll give you a confirmation window. They should give you a confirmation world when your possibility of having dozens or hundreds of hours involved in a build.
Yep.
Like if I didn't have something here that would say, "Are you sure you want to delete this building?" When I'm, especially when I'm in the building stages of it, then I would be just beside
Yeah.
myself.
That woodpeckers would. Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely, they would.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one's teeny tiny. That one's the thingy. Okay. Now for the litmus test. I gotta see if the doors are the right height. Where am I? Play. All right, let's go for a stroll. Okay, doors are too high, so I gotta shrink the height of it
There we
a
go.
little bit.
And here we have some more here. There's no end to the bogs, and I still have the bog problem. There's a little bit of bogs here and there that I spent like 5 hours painting in bogs and swamps, and there's still a few here and there that I missed. So
Sadly, I think it's going to be a lot of time painting bogs and swamps for you.
yeah. Hello, Les. Oblivion. Awesome.
Oblivion, hello, hello.
Yep.
Let's see.
Thank you for coming. Yep.
Wagon. Let's see. Yeah, that door's a little bit tight for that wagon.
Okay, now it's time for...
Oh, I guess not. That's not too bad.
Exactly. Never be enough bogs and swamps. Yep. Now I need to zoom out a bit. There we go.
Is that about the right height?
Get
Yeah,
here,
it's just about on the ground. All right, I'm going to go a little bit taller. 0.85.
I love this green color here, so I'm going to tweak other parts of the map to look a bit more like this, but that's something that comes in the end. And this is,
Much
I love
better.
this pattern here, because that looks really cool. And I can also say a lot of these little lakes and canals here are dug out when they extracted peat back in the day. So this might be an old peat bog that has been extracted and left to its own devices and have dried out, so to speak. So, because this looks very, we had lots of these old peat bogs that have been harvested for peat back in the day where I grew up. So this looks so familiar to me that way, and I've flown over them for a lot of hours. So I've seen a lot of bogs from the air, so I know what they look like, and this looks so real to me. So I'm like, yeah,
let's
this
go
is so cool.
for this building over here.
Put some extra stuff in there. So
2 026 _ Wainwright.
then we have a few.
Save.
So yeah, let's do some more. Yep. Let's do some more. I'm going to save here, and then it's time to start doing roads and buildings and stuff. Oh, Moose, that's a good point. So how about you and stuff like that?
That is true, very true. And that's the cool thing about this. I can just, if I once load the wagon with hay, what I'll probably do is I can always just return that to full size. Because right now it's at 85%. And it would be super easy to just go...
Yeah, you have to make it bigger.
And it's back to full height.
Okay, yeah.
So I was just looking at, based on how tall the human was when I was standing by this door, because this main door of the house was a little tall, it seemed. But
hello, Chantel.
We'll tweak
welcome.
All that.
Thank you for
we'll get there.
Yep. Okay, that was saving. Now I just need to take a glance at, because we have the road that is coming from here, and it will go through here, and then we have Southkeep itself, and then we have a town here, a town up here, and some other stuff here. So
building with
that's
a sign showing a saw and hammer. This newly constructed building is there anything? It just says newly constructed. 2 years ago, his family considered outside. Nope. Okay, so just newly constructed. So that can get the other pack of models, or use the other pack. So we'll save this to make sure
we are
it's all
in
saved.
this area. So I'm just gonna
switch back over to
see
my
here
architectural building map and go to no, where are you? Modular Fantasy House. There you are.
So I'm going to load the next one here, that is South Road, and take a peek at that one.
Let's bring in, shrink all those down.
Now
so
we're getting into stuff here, so yeah.
And reference meshes. I want.
You have South Road.
8 Carpenter. Oh, that's going to be a simple one to build. Okay. Reference material. We're just going to put...
See if I have...
Materials.
Maybe I can just show this one. It's a bit...
Materials. No. There. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Reference meshes. There it is. All right. It's purple, so it's not ugly gray.
It's the map here.
Anna, is your Greyhawk map open to the public?
Yes. Yep. It is. You can also look at my campaign map if you want to. I can just... here is my campaign version of the map, if you want to look at that one. And then I have on easy zoom. So yep, so it's there. Oh, cool, awesome.
Okay, so this one.
So here I need to. Here we have the. There is one. That's the road there. So I need to open that one in. Oops, that was the wrong little thingy. There we go.
And I'm gonna go on this side with... Whoa, come back here. You don't need to go that far out. Alright, so this will be the front of the building. According to the picture, it's about a third of the way in.
This is the one that is just left of... So the map I'm working on continues here, so to speak, on this. So now I just need to figure out where I want the road to come, somewhere in this region. So I'm going to put this one on the map here on my right screen, and then I can zoom in and say that somewhere around here. So that is that area there. So I'm going to have the... Now it's time to look at civilization. We have roads.
In Times Square. Someone should rent a billboard for New Year's Eve and put your Greyhawk map on it for the night, Anna, in Times Square. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that will be cool.
Really cool.
Yep. I would never get that rich, though. Yep.
I don't think any of us are going to get that way, but that'd be super cool. Newly constructed building.
Yep. So here we have the
what did I do?
Here's a little bit of land, so there will be a bridge over here. So I just put it.
Should we give the carpenter glass windows, or should he have the flappy windows? It says a newly constructed building.
Then he probably doesn't have windows.
Doesn't have windows?
No, he hasn't started paying off his mortgage yet. He's
okay.
He's still deep in debt, so to speak. We give him
the little portal windows, flip the wooden flap.
Yep, the wood flap.
Okay, well, then I have to use a different pack because that doesn't have window flaps.
Oh, I'm sorry, I've made it difficult.
That's okay.
Here,
I'm only two pieces in. No big deal.
Yeah, exactly. Chantel, might be for tax reasons. There is no. Yeah.
Absolutely, there is. Does carpenter work outside or just with lantern light? So that would work too.
Yeah.
But for new construction, I just like this pack a lot.
There. Now I need to figure out.
Let's see.
This is interesting to figure out where the roads, because we have the road here. So I need to take this road from here somewhere over to here. And now it's time to see what that looks like in 3D, because we need to have the road go in. People are lazy, so they don't want to make sure that it's necessary, so to speak. So we have
way too fancy.
we have here. This is a river valley, so to speak. So you have these kind of, and they need to be retextured a bit here. But you have these. The texture is not pretty. There are some ugly bits here that I need to fix. So we have the area here. So I'm actually thinking about, and we need to avoid this valley here is kind of nasty. So there's two ways. follow here and go south and go this
So,
way, I'm
getting down
think
this
I'm more
way.
keen on that. But we're coming in. We're coming in here, and that is a
Going to
valley. So
go
I'm not that.
to
But so we have, this is a
this
fairly hilly
village.
area here. So
Oh, wrong back. I want.
I'm kind of.
Yeah, we'll do that one.
We can kind of follow this valley up here, and then we go
And
past that lake, and then we follow up here and just go up, and then we're up on the ridge here, and then that's basically the highest point, because then it's downhill all the way down to over there. So then we can just go here, here, and then follow this river valley down here
it's not
and
just
go
that they're lazy
here,
horses. God, I'm so
area here.
Pete Bug says it's not just that they're lazy. Horses can only pull carts up a certain gradient. The flatter the
Exactly.
road, the
Yes.
more can be transported in the wagons.
Yep. Yep.
Not the water. Water
Mm-hmm.
follows the steepest path.
Yep.
Absolutely, it
Yep.
does.
Yep. So it's mainly
And that's one thing a lot of video games get wrong.
Yep. So I try to really make that so we have, like, if we want to go up not more than a few hundred feet per mile or something like that, tops.
This
So the gradient here. So we will follow the river valley, maybe all the way up here, and then meander back. But I think we can probably go up that way, and here. They will be kind of tough, but certainly not impossible. And the heaviest goods is probably transported on by boat rather than along here. So it's foot traffic and lighter things. If it's really heavy, then they make it using ship.
Oops.
Yeah, there
We
we
both
go.
go, oops.
Yeah, I went oops because I kind of got distracted here. So I'm actually thinking about the road might actually be good to have the main road go up on top here, and that because it's very flat up here, and
It
then
says
we have
no. Peapog says no. Don't follow the river valley. It's too steep. Couple of switchbacks and they'll be at the top.
yeah. So I'm actually thinking of going up here, and then once we're up here, we can just go across the flat up here, and then go all the way down here, and then over here, and then follow the gradient here on this side around to here. Yeah. So first bit here will be to put the. Let's do. I start in this end because we started in this end before, so I know where I need to go. So let's.
This is going to be.
We're coming in here, so I'm going
simple.
to.
Okay, so I'm going to delete
take
that.
this bit because we're here now. So I'm going to follow here and just cut across to that lake there, and then go here, and then follow that one up there because it's like half a mile for a couple of 100 feet. That is probably doable. Hang on a second. What's the alternative? If we go now, because we don't have to, we can actually. What if we, instead of going inland there, what if we go here? What if we go by the coast instead of having the road go in here? We can actually have it go all the way down to the coast, because this is something I just made. So we can have the road go here and go to the coast. So that means that it will come here.
Maybe there isn't a button for create the flattest path, and the way there is for put in rivers. Yep.
Well, you could theoretically make a software for it, or like make a programming for it, but I want to be more artistic in that sense. Into problems here, because this area here is kind of nested. There is a way if you want, in modern times, you will have, if we build a freeway, we will just build it here and just make a bridge across here, but nah. And these hills here are kind of nasty. I want to avoid them if possible. That's why I looked at this area up there to begin with. And then we have this area here that kind of a little bit tricky. But on the other hand, we can go here.
Oops, wrong one. That. And then
Yeah, let's look at the 3D again here. These are interesting. I love to have to make decisions like this. So okay, so here we have the area. So we come in here.
Moose says there could be a ferry across that bay as part of the road along the coast.
Yes, it could be. Yes, but I want to have a road that is non-ferry wise in this sense. I want to have a permanent one just in case, so to speak. And also not too close to the coast because it's flooding and stuff like that too. So I want to have like, and it can be raided by Rennie and others. So I want to have one that is a little bit from the coast too. So yeah, but I as well. But I want to have the main road. But in this case, it might be better to have it here. So what are the options? If we go here, well, these aren't any better. To go here is equally bad, so to speak.
Are there any prescribed roads through that thing that exist in the lore?
Yeah, that's the one I'm working on right now, but we don't have any details on
Oh,
the
okay.
lore, so to
Kind of
speak.
like I'm doing, where I'm
But
just
hang on a
interpreting
second.
what they say.
This area here is the best because this is almost flat. So this area here, if we come in here, we can go here, and I like to come down. Yeah, this is the best because it's straight over and it's very, very flat. So this is the best. It's straight over to South Keep. So now we just need to see where we end up. So okay, so that's the one we should try and do that one. It's short, so it's the one up here. Where the heck we end up on the South Road map here. It's this area here. Yeah, it is. It's not easy to make fantasy communications. It's almost as difficult as a road or a railway or something. So because this is kind of tricky because this area, that bit looks really nice, but then you have this area here is not good, and
Okay.
so we have I have it here, so the road goes over here and it goes very flat and stuff, and then it goes there and it goes here and here and it goes here and here. And maybe the first one is, yeah. Okay, Varl, shoot, please. Yep.
That one.
So I'm going to go with option 1. I think that there is probably a reason I chose it. So I'm going to go with option 1.
Oh, yeah. Mapping question. Yeah, absolutely, go for it. That's what the show is for, to show what we're doing and answer any questions you might have.
Yep. So now I'm going to take roads. We have roads, and I'm going to make it a little bit narrow here. So
let's do
I'm putting it on the ledge next to the river here. They cut it into the river side here, so to speak, and then it goes there and it follows up here.
Okay, that'll work.
And it goes that way.
This piece.
That's a bit too close to the lake, so I'm going to.
Okay, you need to go up so I can see what I'm doing here.
Like that. now I need to look again at the 3D to see where the heck we go from there. Okay, so I'm at this lake.
Okay, question is, I have a homeworld map that I add onto the map. I also want to be able to change existing text on that map. What would you recommend as being able to do those two things?
The best tools for handling text are Adobe Illustrator, but you can also use Inkscape if you don't want to pay for the Adobe tax, so to speak. So Inkscape is a good one. You can do a lot of cool stuff with fonts, and it's a vector based as vectors, and you can place text along lines and stuff like that. So that's one one way of doing it. So that's probably the easiest way to it's a little bit of a hurdle to learn Inkscape, but not terrible. There's a lot of it's an open source tool that it doesn't cost anything. So it's a little bit of a hurdle to learn it. And the only thing is that the map can't be gigantic, because once you start getting maybe more than 10,000 pixels, then you need a really powerful machine, and Inkscape might be a little bit tricky to handle it. But Inkscape, if you want a free alternative that can do a lot of cool stuff with text, and you can put text and lines and stuff like that. The other option, if you want to do, then is to use QGIS, go the GIS route. That gives you a much bigger of a hurdle to learn, but it gives you a lot cooler options down the line. But you need to, there's a less of a hurdle just to, and if you don't bother with one map exactly, if you don't want to georeference things, just take it into Illustrator or Inkscape and start placing symbols, lines, and text on it, because that is vector text. So that means that you can zoom and do also. Yeah, Inkscape is downloaded. Yep. It's for, I think, both Mac and I'm going to find the page.
Can you do
here.
Incarnate also?
I've never used Campaign Cartographer and stuff too. They are good, but they usually have more limitations in that sense, so to speak. Inkscape, and they cost money.
Oh, they do. Okay. I haven't looked at them. I've just heard the terms when I've been listening to people. Oh, I have CC. Oh, he has a campaign cartographer.
Yeah.
Or Varbigem has it.
Yeah, so yeah, campaign cartographer can definitely do it, so to speak. So if you have campaign cartographer, you can work with that, so to speak. Yeah. But otherwise, try Inkscape is a good one. It doesn't cost anything, and it can do. You can do a lot of stuff. So yeah,
I've seen a lot of cool stuff in Inkscape and Incarnate, both of them. That done some really amazing maps. There's a guy on YouTube, I forget who it is, that does nothing but Inkscape and Incarnate and all those. Cow. Oops. Wrong button. Get over there. There we go. I think I have him saved on my playlist. I'll have to look him up and see if I can do it.
But GIMP normally, like it's like Photoshop. It's normally not the tool to put tons of text on top, because you normally want that vectorized, because it works much better vector, like the symbols and text and stuff. So you and then you put the other stuff vector on top, because it prints better and you can zoom in and it looks better zoomed in, so to speak. So it's
okay.
So now I'm going to. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for asking, Warl. So I'm going to put the road next to here, and then just continue up. Not that one. I'm going to continue up the slope here. And this is probably about 300 feet or so over a mile, which I hope even a little bit of a tired horse can do. This is probably the worst. So now we're here. now it's time to look where we're going to head down from this. So I'm going to save again here.
Oops. Let's do.
Oh, thank you, Varl. Awesome, thank you. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice.
Okay, so now we're actually we are
Make sure
here.
my gaps are filled in, which they do not appear to be. I'm going to make these a tiny bit longer, I think.
So I'm just going to go across and then into this valley and then go down there and across. And then,
Can I make them?
but then, no, we should not go, we should stay on top here, go down there and then go up on top of here. So we can, oops, we're going to need to be here. So I'm going to put in a little bit of road here. That's a marker. Need to head that way. I hope you can see over my shoulder here a little bit what I'm doing here. So I'm looking at this bit here because there is another some nasty up there too. So we need to somehow.
1.1.
Okay. So I'm going to do here, and it's time to do 4 wide here. So there we go. So we go here and then
Still not the right
along
angle.
the line here, and then start the climb
There.
on top here.
This one.
Because this is up, and then we go around that little tiny little lake or dam, and then we go around here again. Now we're higher up.
There we go. Much better.
And then we go around here again. And what I do is that I'm just gonna do this.
That does not close up like it should.
I'm just gonna go here and there we go. Now it's time to connect these and see where we need to tweak things.
I need to stretch these just a little more.
Yeah. So now I'm going to connect these two, and then I'm going to save it, import it into World Machine, and then we can see the road on the actual slope, and we can see if the results are good enough or if I was way too ambitious with the heights here, because then I need to rethink, because this is the most difficult bit of the road.
Alright, that looks decent.
But I think I have one of the best areas through the landscape here. It's a bit up and down, but it's not terrible, I think.
Alright.
And then we go here. And these textures need to be tweaked a bit because they don't look that good. And then having a bridge across here. Go a little bit on this side and then over here. And then connect it. So now I'm going to save it, export out the texture, import that in 3D. So save here first. Yep, this is map making in practice and world building in practice, so to speak. This is the kind of mapping I love to do when you can kind of work on the results and world build. And this is also some of the trickiest bits is to do because so much is dependent on it. That's why I put in the road, because whoever set up the AirD or someone who needed to go east to west have probably tried every route to see which one is the really good one. So they want St. Critwall. That's the two cities that this road goes through. But along the coast was not that good, so to speak. So you're already up north here, so now it's kind of diagonal there. So yeah. Okay, now I can go in. First I'm going to disable the shading and then go in here and select the copy merged.
Okay. Oops, I need to put.
Yeah, what are you
Excuse me,
doing
guys. I
now?
gotta
I
clear
need,
my throat again.
yeah, see what you're doing.
Okay, sorry about that.
Take new,
It's being difficult.
and here we have the texture without the shading.
No.
That's the JPEG, and it's the texture, and I just save over the existing texture. Just keep updating it. And once this is done, I can close this. And then we can update World Machine, and then we can see what the road actually looked like. So there we go. So now I can take World Machine back here, go in, and we need to look at the code here, texture input, and we refresh that from file. Now we go in and we render again. And the good thing, since there is no fractals here, is basically just viewing the texture on top of the terrain. That means that render in full resolution is still fairly quick. It's like 10 seconds. So it doesn't take that long. So now we can go in, and here we have the road. So now we can actually, I hope you guys can see. I'm going to put myself on top here again a little bit while I'm doing it. So I hope you guys can see. We need to tweak the width of the road because it's a bit spilly back and forth. So I can see that this here goes up. So we need to follow the slope around, not go up and down like that. So we need to, this bit here is good, and then from there it just needs, and that looks like a ruin or something. So we need to follow the river here and then follow the river around here. But from here it goes fairly level, and then very steady climb all the way up to here where it's the top, so to speak. So this bit here, it's about a mile and a half, 2 miles, and it's 2 miles and up a few hundred feet. So I think that's doable. And then we have this bit here where it's a very gentle slope down to here, and then it goes across here. So this is where I'm worried about. I'm worried about this bit here. Yeah, we have too much of a high slope there. So we need to, in order to just go that way, it should continue around, and I put it around there and then do a horseshoe bend there, and then go that way, that way, that way, that way, and then horseshoe a bit back and forth there. I can probably tweak it there. Is this too steep here?
And we're gonna.
It might be too steep there. We probably have to do another horseshoe that way and go around a bend like that rather than straight up. Or go around here and around. That's another option too, instead of going straight up there. Okay, yeah, that now I know what to tweak. So let's go in and tweak those areas here. So and go green. So I have that as a reference, and then I'm going to deselect and turn on the shading again here. And now it's time to go into the first bit of the road here, this bit here, and that to remove that bit here. So I'm going to make the brush a little bit big, and then go down to 4 pixels. Then just follow the river like that. I think that was the best part there.
There.
And here we had a little bit of a.
Is this one? This one is the stonemason.
A little bit to the.
Actually, I feel like making the stonemason tonight.
Yeah.
Alright, so save it one more time just to make sure everything is good. And back to building area.
There we go.
All right.
I'll make it a little bit wider here because that way there is room for you can meet and go around. Okay, so we had that one. Now we have this ugly bit here. So let me move my reference bit here again. Zoom in.
Wait a second. 2.8.
First we need to do this and make it a bit bigger. So I'm going to
so
remove,
I'm assuming that's going to be stone since it's a stonemason's
I'm going to remove
building. But
this bit here.
Look at stonemason is 29.
And this bit here.
So, of course, it's right on the split.
Yeah.
Alright, so
now I'm just going to do this and move it and then take
stone wall. Another of the newcomers recently built a stone wall.
And then we can actually,
of the stone
it's much
mason.
better to go this way, I think.
Okay, off the road by a low stone wall.
And then we go around here and we go around that one. And then I'll just go this way back again.
Oops, wrong way. Okay, so the stone wall follows the front of the road. Okay, so I don't have to worry
about that. And this is a little
bit
of hit and miss because I'm just putting hairpin curves and stuff in here. So I'm just gonna let them
okay.
go around here. And it looks so flat here, so I'm just gonna take it that way. And now it's save again and see if we got that part working. Because then I think we're home with the most difficult part of the stretch of the road, because the next bit up there is really flat. Seems like a really nice area up there too. It's maybe not the best agriculture, but they have water and they have good views and it's a defensible position. Yeah. It's so cool when you look at that old map. Oh, you muted, I think.
Yep, I cleared my throat.
Perfect.
That a map with an image. Wait, I read online that a map image with only one layer cannot have its text manipulated at all. That is correct.
The tool and the file format needs to allow for text to be saved editable. So even if you can have layers, the text might be on a separate layer, but that might not necessarily mean that you can edit it. So PSD files, for instance, you can have text, and the same thing goes with Illustrator or Inkscape. Text can be just lines or pixels, or it can actually be saved as editable text. And then you have the other issue with editable text is that if you send the file to someone else, they need to have the same fonts you have installed. Otherwise, it will look funny and it will not work. So there's a lot of pitfalls and things that can go wrong with stuff like that. But you're correct. You're perfectly correct. But there is more to it than that, so to speak. Okay, turn off shading and go back in and mask it again. Copy merged.
Savage Baron, yeah, if it's one layer, the map and the text are merged together. Absolutely.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's why I have so many layers here, because I can keep them editable separate, so to speak. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By the way, hello, Savage.
Yep. Hello. Yeah, it's flattened. Yep. Mm-hmm. And there are some file formats like JPEGs and PNGs and stuff. They don't support layers. TIFF, PSD, and stuff do. They support layers. I don't know if WebP supports layers. I don't think so.
I don't think so, no. Actually, no, it doesn't, because I use it all the time for Kobold.
Yeah.
Snuck in with coffee earlier. Ooh, coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I got mine right here.
Yeah,
that means I'm going to be up until like 4 or 5 o'clock.
But strawberry lemonade today. Yeah.
I wanted to have a little bit of oomph today
Yeah,
when I was talking with you guys, so I decided to have coffee.
yeah. I have a strawberry drink,
Well,
and I don't have ice in it because it's cold enough.
fantastic winter here, so I'm
It's
hoping it stays, because then
yeah.
maybe I can go to GaryCon.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah. It's been good here so far too. We've had 80 a couple of days, and now it's down to about 70, 68, 70. So it's good. A bit foggy during the mornings, but otherwise it's good. Yep.
So if you wanted to reproduce an existing world's basic map for purposes of adding specific information on you, start from scratch. Basically, you could use the original map as your starter, be the
But
best way to do
if
it.
you have Photoshop, you can actually fill in the terrain under the text. You can fake it in, so to speak. You can use various
Right,
fill
right.
techniques, so to speak, and get rid of the text, so to speak.
But
And
for starter, I would just do the
yeah,
base map and then do what
yeah.
you need to do to
That's
it.
why for my Greyhawk map, for instance, you can get the texture only. The terrain map is available. It's also available as a PDF that is labeled an Illustrator file with all the layers. The text is not editable though, but you have all the stuff in. And the reason the text is not editable is that it uses up so much resources that my old computer couldn't handle all that text editable. That's why I had to outline it. Yeah, so if you want to work on my Greyhawk maps, you can go to my website and you can download either I have the font list and stuff, all the styles built in and the fonts and stuff. So if you just install the right fonts, you can get it look exactly the way I've done it. Okay, so now I think I've saved it. I can actually go here and update it. Uh-oh. Yeah. The
Yeah, I've been looking
World
for
Machine
blank
has
images and maps I
yeah,
want to work on. Yep.
yeah,
Sometimes it's hard for a map or something like that where they already have things.
yeah.
You have to do a lot of stuff inside Photoshop, like content aware fill. You can get rid of the lettering.
Hmm.
And it's a pain. I do it all the time in my work for Kobold because
Yeah,
they're really good now about sending me files that have all the layers. But early on, when I was taking the maps from the PDFs, then I would have to go back in and do content aware fill, so it would get rid of all that. And
yeah,
it took me hours because it just got to be such a headache, and it
yeah.
saves them money too. So,
Hmm.
you know, so now they just send me automatically. They send me the PSD files, and I don't
Yeah,
have to worry about that.
yeah. I had a World Machine crash, and it is one of these weird crashes. Is that if I run World Machine on my main screen, no issues. If I try to do certain things on one of the other monitors, then it crashes. It's one of
Hmm.
these things. So it's like that main CPU core, but it can't run on every monitor. It
I
needs to
just put the
live
wrong
its
thing
life
in
on the
there.
main monitor. But now we can go in here, and here we go. So now we can actually go in and go here, and there should be more road to look at here. So here we go.
I
Now we
I
can,
have World
yeah,
Machine, but I've never played much with it.
yeah. It's one. It has a really large or like a huge learning curve in the beginning, so to speak. It's
Hmm.
really tricky to get into. Now
Yeah,
I
I've been
can see
doing
one thing
most
that
of my work inside of
yeah,
Unreal
yeah.
and trying to learn that stuff.
And now I see that everything worked really well. This is almost level the entire time here. But that hairpin was
WebP
complete.
does support layers. Okay, sure.
Oh, cool. Okay, awesome. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Uh, just go straight from there and onwards. Okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep it that way and then kill off this one. Go back in here, turn on shading,
I would think using WebP, you'd
deselect.
have to have some sort of special settings to do layers because if I just do a file save as kind of thing, it
Yeah,
does not support or keep the layers and layer information. So must be some little setting you have to set when
yeah.
you're doing save as. Because I
Okay.
have to use save as or the WebP format
Mm-hmm.
for Fantasy Grounds now because they're just
Oh, they're
gotta have that
converting
to
to WebP. Yeah,
yeah to save space on their
yeah,
servers, I guess.
yeah. But it is a future format, so
Um,
it's more future-proof than others. So yeah.
I'm just glad to see them going away from JPEGs because JPEGs are so full of loss that it's just bleh.
Yeah, but you can really make them small, so that's the good thing.
Mm-hmm. I want to
So
have
now I'm going to continue past these little cliffs there and outcroppings and over there. So now I think we're done with that part. So yep.
have.
So I'm going to repeat this one more time here. So I'm going to save it, export it out, and import it into. I haven't even looked. It's 120. Okay, good. And all I've been doing is this damn road and some forest and stuff. So yeah, the roads is really important to get them right. So that's part of the main stuff, so to speak.
Let's see. I think I am going to convert that to a flatter wall.
While it saves there, we can actually look at
I think I might go back
red
to this
stuff
version.
here.
So I can use the flat wall with it instead of the trying to make that curve with the big bumpy wall.
And we want. I think I'm going to go here and just go straight down there and then go along here. It's probably the best. Yep.
Much better. All right, I see
Must
a line.
be a good,
Where's the
great
line
view from here. You can see for miles around.
Line is coming in from right.
Okay. So now just one more. One more, making sure that what we've done is working here.
There we go.
Group. And I'm using this mask because that way I get it the same part selected every time, so there will be a pixel match.
I haven't used this stone pack since I did Nargenstal.
Okay.
It's kind of fun to get back to it occasionally.
Yeah.
Let's see, half wall, where'd you go?
And when you copy files this big, that's when you need a lot of RAM. Get a computer that you can't have too much RAM. You need tons of RAM. The same thing goes with World Machine. It lives by having enormous amount of RAM and also a really big scratch disk and fast SSD for scratch. So I use one for saving too, because before it took 10 minutes to save, now it takes like 30 seconds. It's really, it's a great upgrade. Okay, now I can go back in here. It's when I go here and look at the code and the flowchart, that's when it crashes if I use it. If I show World Machine on one of the other monitors, then it crashes. If I look at the source. And then the road should look good, the first bit.
Let's see, what am I going to do here? That looks funny with the big foot sticking out there and then nothing goes to a flat wall. Maybe if I put one of these on the inside corner.
There we go.
Duplicate. What am I doing? I only need one of them.
Here we go. Yeah. Here is the road. Bad. It goes fairly level here. It's not terrible.
Yeah,
that's a decent way through the landscape here. Yep.
All right, there we go.
So now the next step is to go here, here, and then basically follow the ridge down this bit here and meander down to here, and then have the river up there, because there's one road going from here to here. Okay, yep. So I can have World Machine and look at it here. So yep. And now we can close this one too. And okay, time to dive in here again.
Okay. Excuse me.
So now it's time to make a brush a little bit bigger and remove this part here.
Okay, and
Go back to 4 pixels. I usually make my roads 4 pixels for the main roads. It's a little bit wider than they would be in real life. I think that's about that to they might only be 15 or so, but I want them to be visible from a little bit more of a distance. So I'm not going to be too anal about it, but it's yeah, it's roughly about 3. So it's about 15 feet plus a little bit of ditch and stuff. So here, and we go. I want to go across here, and I have to. Then we have a little bit of a bridge there. And then I can just continue down here. Now I need to go into forest here and remove some of the forest here. There, make it a little bit of an opening there. There we go. Make an opening for the road. Go back in here and paint in some road there. And there will be some fields and various other stuff there. So I'm going to, I can probably need to adjust the road a little bit eventually, but now I'm just going to get it roughly in place here. So make sure I don't hit any of the little lake bits, and then go through the trees there.
Yeah, that looks much better.
Okay, now we have to look here so we don't steer, but I think I'm good. We need to go here and then down here. So yeah. So it's time to stay on top of things here. So I'm just gonna avoid too many obstacles and just stay away from stuff here.
Broad gauge is 5 feet 6 inches, double that other, and some edging, and 20 feet becomes perfectly reasonable.
Yep.
Cool.
Thank you, Pete Bog. Yeah, that was my calculation too, because the gauge is broad gauge is based on wagons with a little bit of leeway, so to speak. So I want the road to be big enough that two wagons can meet each other, so you can have traffic in both directions, and then a little bit of wiggle room. So yeah. Hang on a second. Now I think I'm painting myself in a corner here. So
okay, there
I'm
we
going
go.
to go that far, and then I'm going to go down to 4 again here. And then I'm going to stay on that side of that little thing. So I'm going to follow the tree line here, because people like trees, so they can.
And I'm going to
stay along here and then go between that tiny little dam there and just follow the line a bit here.
My stuff.
And then go
props.
Not go too close. There's a follow it in there.
It's just the light making a funky
yep.
line there. Okay.
And then go here.
So it's kind of making a
and continue down
funny line there.
That bit.
Not quite lined up. I don't think it's going to make a difference. This looks like it has what do you call it? My brain just went dead. The ambient occlusion mapping on it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm actually going to
And exactly what is ambient occlusion?
It's how your your regular light reflects off of things.
Oh, okay. So if it's metallic or dull or something like that.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like how your standard room lighting,
Oh, okay.
reflects off of things.
Yep.
But this also has, I can't think of what it's called. There's another kind of mapping you can do that makes the texture change as you move closer and farther away.
Yep.
It creates more and more texture as you come closer, and I can't remember what it's called right at the moment.
Yep. So
But there was a
yeah, now I think
slight
we've solved this
difference right
bit of the
there.
road here. I'm going the road from here, from the
Okay,
town of
so
Senti that is on this island here, and it goes. I put the bridge here, and now I need to have a road that navigates through this landscape here, and then I'll see how it go. And I will stay away from not too close to the
okay,
river because rivers weren't regulated, so they might flood and stuff in summer or like spring and stuff. So therefore, I'm just gonna keep a little bit of a distance here.
my props. This one. Save. Yes, I want to replace it. Sorry, I'm whispering to myself. I do this all the time.
Oh, me too. Yeah,
Um,
I steer with my tongue and I guide myself verbally as well. So yeah,
mm-hmm.
and then I go across there, and then we go here, over there, and across that one too. These are big enough to need a real river, so, or a real bridge, so to speak. I just put like some boulder, but I will paint in stuff.
And a
Yeah, that is a small island that is at the. So this is near Div here, and then you have an island at. I call this river the
hello,
Rolex. Thank you
Rolejax.
for lurking. Yep. So yeah, so this is that the estuary of the Senti River. So I have the town of the Futerin port. Futerin is the I call it this one. So this is so both a little fishing port and a port where they can reload, so to speak. So and this is a fairly good agricultural area. So they probably have some exports. So they export stuff to Critwall and other places that consume more food stuff and wool and whatever stuff like that. They have some. There is some. Yeah.
It says, so
Yep.
Anna, making such a wonderfully complex map, are you able to select any particular part of the map to extract or
That's
print out to use in a correct game?
that's the idea. So I'm going to put this all in GIS in 3D as well, so you can get prints and use it digitally and I copy pieces of it and place plaster. So yeah.
And then he has a further thing, or Peacock has a further thing that says, I was asking more about the land where the road from the island meets the bridge.
Oh, okay. The road from the island meets the bridge. Well, this part here, I don't have a specific name, but this is the South Keep, the county of South Keep. Here's hillier and worse. So this is a good agricultural area. So I'm going to take the road, continue it up towards South Keep. So that's the goal to get there today. So I'm going to. Oh. Okay, hang on a
You
second.
were just zooming into it, then stopped.
Yep. Yeah, there is more stuff up here. Hang on a second. Here is I haven't painted in the bridges yet, but here is Cup and Island. This is where South Keep will be. It's the strategic. This island in the middle of the river. This is where the South Keep will be. So I hope this is when you. I need to keep it on here for a little bit so you can, because there is like a 10-second delay or something. So.
Which reminds me, I should check on my stream, make sure it's still going smooth.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Yep.
I don't think there is more bridges on here than these two here. Yeah. There's a long bridge here, and that's going east towards Axport and yeah. Yeah, this is the Port Furin. So hang on a second. Give me a chance to go here. So we are. I'm going Furin. So this I have the. So this is the road that goes up here, and this is South Cape, and then this is the road that we just painted, going west here. Yeah, so that island you saw there is under this this symbol here, and then you have Scragholm Island here, and then we have Walworth Island, but that's way outside of this map. The map I'm working on is only from here to here, so it's roughly this bit here. Well,
Isn't
about
that
this bit?
the name of the family that we're involved with right now in Needfest?
Yep.
The Walworth?
Yep. Katarina is a
Thought
Walworth. She's the
Yeah,
Earl
I
of
was-
Walworth. Yep.
I could not
And the
think of her name.
commander
I was just like,
of the Shieldlands too. So yep.
yeah, I was like, I know that name.
I hope
know
that
it.
I hope that that explains it a bit, Pete Bog. But thank you so much for asking. Now I'm going to continue up the road here and towards South Keep
Let's see.
and
We'll do
keep
another
at it
set
here. And
of
I'm going to see if I can go between the trees that were already
this.
painted there, and I'm just gonna go across here.
And I can't see because the purple building's in the way.
Go in here,
That overlaps quite a bit.
and then there's like an open field, so I'm going to go around the field here, and then I'm going to go through the trees here. Uh-oh. Let's see, 100 feet wide on the edge of the island. Hang on a second here. Now I'm getting intrigued here. So we're on the right island here. The brown bit here, that is the me experimenting with. That's a pier. That's like no. Okay, not that one. Okay, left. Okay, so I'm going
right.
I'm going to zoom out. Which part of the island? North, west, east, or south? West of the island. Okay, west of the island. We have the bridge here, and then we have a little peninsula here, and then we have another westerly flow of stuff here. So
On the west side of the island, and then Savage says the blue one. I think he might be teasing. I'm not quite sure.
Okay, yeah.
Because I haven't been watching, but
Yeah.
it's
Okay, yep.
pretty complicated.
Yep.
What you're trying to figure out.
Yep. So now, and I realize that I'm not going to go across here, so we have to go around that part here. So
One fish, two fish, whatever the blue fish. I can't remember what that is from. That's always like one fish,
Yeah.
two fish, something, blah blah. I don't remember what it is though.
so I'm going to go here.
Deep fried fish?
Yeah,
Sure.
deep fried fish. Yeah.
It's the name of a Dr. Seuss book. It's one fish, one fish, blue fish, something. I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah.
It's been a long time since I did that. Grilled fish. Yep. There you go.
Yeah. Grilled fish can be really yummy. Yeah. Barbecued fish.
We're just gonna duplicate this whole chunk. And
Oh, the coastal blue. Okay, beaches. Yeah. So some of this is beaches, but these little dots here are reeds that I put on. I might need to tweak them a bit in the final style, so it's more like a mask. It's like the forest, and then it's trees and stuff. So this needs to be cleaned up a couple of steps, so to speak. Reeds, yeah, like reeds,
like
yeah,
marshy reeds
yeah,
kind of thing.
Yep. This tall grass that grows in water. Yep. There's usually a lot of reeds. There's not. You have reeds in salt water too, but there's usually in fresh water. There's usually more reeds. Yeah, and especially in temperate areas have a lot of reeds too. But not. I avoid reeds in some of the areas along the Nurdiv here, because there are usually too much waves and stuff. That's like open water too much for yeah. Oh, awesome! Thank you. That explains.
Trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Figure out what he was referring to. It was like
Thank you, Varl. Yep, yeah. I try to put in as much as possible. They can be interesting because where can you reeds are really good to hide in, for instance, so they can have a lot of tactical value during the game sessions. So it can be very
Think
very
Assassin's Creed.
exactly yeah. So reeds are perfect to hide in reeds, and they
Assassin's
also
Creed.
good because you can. They're also a good resource. You can use them for building material and a bunch of other stuff. So you can even build a
Okay,
raft
do
out of
I have
reeds.
a
So
wall here? Yes, I do. Okay. Let's just grab this whole
yeah,
chunk.
Linda, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
I was like,
Okay, yeah. So now I need to look ahead here so I don't paint
Yep.
myself in a corner. But okay, so we are good. We're just gonna stay with the river here. Gonna take it.
It's just how odd how those little things pop up from your memory. It's just like, oh yeah, I remember
Is
reading
that
that.
one
Now,
of
what was
these
it?
child rhymes or something?
It's a childhood author.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the most famous in America is Dr.
Okay.
Seuss.
Ah, gotcha.
Well, in my genre
Yeah,
age,
I've heard about
was.
Dr. Seuss, but I'm not really.
It's one where he rhymes. The entire story is rhyming.
Okay, cool.
Um, like there's green eggs and ham, and then green eggs and ham, Sam I am, or something like that. It says I don't remember all of it, but it was really cool when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I learned to read a lot of stuff from all those.
Mm-hmm.
One day I'll learn to type. I haven't got there yet, and I'm 54, so yeah. Yeah, might be struggling there, Pete Bog.
Yeah, we're working on it. Yep.
Let's see. I'm gonna get
1 year and a couple of months older than me, so yeah. Mm-hmm.
green eggs and ham. Yes.
I'm
Oh,
59
I'm
in a
thinking
couple
two
of
different
months.
books, aren't I? Green eggs and ham is one book, and then Sam I Am is another book.
Yeah.
If I remember right. I'm having nostalgia moment where my brain goes, "Oh yeah, there is a book like that." My sister would get after me because she's a librarian. She'd go, "You should know those," and I'd be like, yeah." And the Berenstain Bears was one I used to like when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. To start looking at
Right,
where I am here. Okay, we can
this over
go over somewhere around here is probably. Then I can probably go back here and I'm going to backtrack to about here.
I do not like them, Sam I am. Uh-huh. That's exactly it. It's been a long time since I even heard those stories.
Yeah.
And it's just little stuff that you remember from when you're a kid. We didn't have Thomas the Train and all those like they have now. We had like Berenstain Bears, Dr. Seuss, Alice in Wonderland. We had all those.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I was into reading Nancy Drew and Sherlock Holmes and all those. I was reading Sherlock Holmes before anybody else knew who the hell it was. So,
Okay. Yeah.
my age, that is.
I've read a couple of Sherlock Holmes, but I was never really into Sherlock Holmes that much.
Oh wow, I devoured the books once I discovered them.
Yeah.
And my library was an older one, the school library. Now they saved what they could when they went to the new library, but there's some of the books that were just plain falling apart. They just couldn't save them.
Yeah.
So,
But I remember in school they forced us we had to read Sherlock Holmes in English as part of our English studies. Yep.
and
So
Sherlock Holmes is a
that was
fantastic book.
Oh yeah, that was really good, and I think I read a couple of them in Swedish too, and then I read more of them in English than Swedish. So they're good, yeah. But I was too into detective stories, so.
Oh, I devoured. Let's see if I can remember them all the anything like that. And then I discovered Stephen King, and it was like, okay, now I'm really warped, but I was having a good time. Good thing my parents never realized what I was reading. They'd probably go, "What are you reading?" "Oh, I'm just reading, Mom." I think she did say that about Pet Sematary when I was reading that, but and then she just said, "Whatever, you read what you want as long as you're reading."
Yep. Okay, I'm going to go in here and.
Plenty of time to read.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I don't get car sick anymore. I never have gotten car sick when I read.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a fun thing to
Yeah, I've never
have
been car sick. Yeah.
Some people in my family have been car sick if they start reading or trying to do stuff when the book moves. But when the book moves at the same pace you do, it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, that's the.
When you try to stabilize it, like hold it out in the air and try to stabilize it, that's when I start getting motion sick.
But But oh, that was reeds. We skipped the reeds.
Can't
Roads.
say I've
There
ever
we
been
go.
seasick.
Yeah, I've been seasick a few times, but
So
I'm not very susceptibly. I'm not readily susceptible to being seasick either. I'm usually good, but a few times I've been. But then it's been really bad, and I've been this when I've been sleeping and I wake up and I fall out of the. You have to when you have to kind of tie yourself in the bed to not fall out. That's when
yeah.
I've been seasick a bit, and
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I remember I went
When
on a
I sit
cruise when I
outside
was
and see the horizon, no problem. I'm good. But
yeah
if I
I
go
was on
under below
a
deck and stuff,
cruise and that we went around the Horn of Cuba, and people were sicker than a dog on the cruise line. And it
yeah,
was like, that's because you don't you number one, they were laying head to toe, so they're rocking head to toe, and that was not good.
exactly, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
So
just
side
oof.
to side is better, I think. But it's kind of sometimes it gets too
I
much.
think
So
it depends on the person, but
yeah, bow or the stern of
hmm
the boat too. So if
yep.
you're in the middle somewhere, it's better. But there's been small boats where I've been sailboats and yachts that I've been seasick, not big ones. I've never been seasick on a big one.
Yeah.
But they've been so small that and they've been rocking so bad that you have to hold on, so to speak. You have to tie yourself to the bed to not fall out. It's been that
Yeah,
bad.
I
Yeah.
don't
When you feel like you all of a sudden you're like in midair and you're flying and then boom down in the bed again. That's when I've been seasick.
no, I went on two cruises when I was in 26, 25, 26, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Trains being a relatively newfangled invention. Oh, wait, I'm lost track. Tank engine, not rain. The train. Yeah, okay.
Oh, tank engine, not rain. Train, not
There you
rain.
go. There you
Ah,
go.
there we go.
There you
Yep.
go. I was like, what? My brain lost me there for a second.
Yep.
Um,
Okay, now I need to figure out where I want to have the bridges. I'm looking at the chasms, but I think that works here. So
okay,
now I need to
this one
go
is
in here
gonna be
and
interesting. Let's see.
make an opening through
I
the
guess
trees
this
here.
is
So I'm going
about
to
that height.
there. I'm
Could
going to
stretch it a little
create an
bit.
opening. I'm going to create an opening there too, and then go down to roads and there we go. And just work on getting the road across. I will paint in the actual the river building around it, but first I'm just going to get the road here.
Okay, so that
So now I'm
blends
going to see
not at all.
that was that part. And that one is fairly flat, so I have no problem. I can draw the road wherever across where I want it to be.
Yep,
Yeah, that sounds
with
fun.
great detail. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so now
Um,
comes, should I go across that
okay,
part or
might have to edit
no?
that
I'd
a
probably go
little
this
bit.
part here. I kind of I
Can
like that
I?
idea, so I'm going to go through
That,
here and then I'm going to remove some trees as
that does
needed.
not line up.
So I'm going to
Try again.
go here because this I
Okay,
consider the natural
so
landscape,
that
and then I'm going to
matches.
adjust the landscape as needed. Hang on a second, we need some more. No, I think there are.
Yucky. This could be
Mm,
another one of those
we
rooftops
can
that's going
have
to give
some
you all kinds of
more
fits.
farmland here. There we go. We can add a little bit of more farmland there. So there we go. We can add some more farmland.
All right, so
There we go. And roads. Oh, okay, here we go. Around here. And then I will make openings in the forest for
that needs to be
buildings
rotated
and
back.
stuff like that, because I haven't decided where I want all the settlements. They will. This is the road that needs to be there, so I'm making the road where you would make a road for it to be convenient, so to speak. That's probably getting too close to the. So I'm going to
That
stick with
needs
the
to
road
be
here instead.
right
Go
there.
up there, and that looks like a cool
Yeah,
place. So I'm
that's
going to
it.
bring the road across here. And then I'm aiming
And
for the
this
bridge over
needs
here
to be
somewhere. Going to make the road go through here. over here, and then go time for some clean up some of the forest.
Okay. That looks pretty good. Now, what do I have to fill that in with? I can do dormer, maybe?
Yeah.
Your house than some people would.
Yeah.
To prove he can do, larger focus of things. Since his house is right next to the castle and he's probably working solidly on the castle, I'm gonna guess he's probably got a little bit fancier house than
Yeah.
some people do.
Now it's time to save again, and I have no idea what time is it. It's almost 2 hours, so it's good. We're good here.
We always seem to be, 2 hours has gone by. Wow.
Oh yeah, it's but this is so much fun. This is the most fun of all the map making, so I love this more than almost anything. So yeah.
It's just that we just sit here and work and chat with people. We don't,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
try to put on a show.
Yep. So it's
Or try
awesome.
to instruct people. We answer questions when you have them, but we don't try to
Well, I,
instruct you
I
on
babble
anything
about what I do from
serious.
time to time, and when it doesn't work, we both swear and use
Dang
foul
it, what are you
language.
doing?
Exactly.
Yep.
So yep.
We try not to use foul language. We try to be
Yeah, exactly. I try
good
to
people.
not be too bad. So yeah.
But we're not making tutorials and all that stuff where
No.
people I think some people try too hard to make tutorials and then I find them not
They should
interesting.
be a little bit more scripted, I think. It's usually better to have them, but it's so much work to do. I've done a series on World Machine and stuff, and it's a lot of work when you have to edit and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And it takes, this is meaning this is 2 hours of work time, and it works really well. But if you have to do tutorials, and then all of a sudden it's like 5 to 10 hours. It's like
Yep.
3, 4 times more or 5 times more than. So if you want to work,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep, which is why when I do streaming on my gaming channel, it's just straight streaming. I
yeah.
never do videos unless I absolutely have to because I hate video editing
Yeah, yeah, it's
with a
real.
passion.
Yeah, and especially if you have to sit and watch and listen to your own voice and stuff, or that, it's terrible. Yeah,
I listen to it once in a while when I'm working on stuff to see if I've got anything that I need to fix.
yeah,
Unlikely cobbler's children go barefoot, remember.
yeah.
Very
Mm-hmm.
true,
Yep,
very true.
that's very true.
Um,
Yep.
but since he has a little more intricate house than some of the other people, much more intricate than most houses in the area.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking that maybe it'd be a little more, because I mean, the house I just did for the carpenter is like long and flat and blah, compared to this one. But
Yeah.
you are correct. There are a lot of things that you got to take into consideration. Let's see. Do I have? I do. Let's see if I can get this to fit this time. The roof is going to come up and match with the one in back. Might have to put a fake roof in there.
A fake roof? Okay.
Or another piece of wall to
Mm-hmm.
match this one so it
Yeah.
has support.
Okay, now I need to see how far we are from. Oh, there's still, it's all the way up there, so it's, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
And we're going to bring this back.
Yeah,
because there's a piece. Wait, I ran into problems with this one before where his arch. Where's this arch? This arch, if I remember
I'm
correctly.
going to go just across here and then through that forest there.
Because I always had to put boards on the front of these.
And then I'm going to just do that. So. I think it's so cool to follow the landmarks here, so to speak. So I follow the edge of
I guess it does.
fields and stuff.
When you don't mess with the sizing, it matches, I guess.
Yeah. And we go
Which
here.
is something
Might
I'm
be
known
some
to do.
more trees are needed here, so I'm going to work on that.
Yeah, that looks all right. All right,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
we've got that.
Cool to see you working in
And
stone there. That's really.
I'm guessing that. Oh, yeah. See, this is going to give me an issue. I've got one area that's real narrow here, and then the other area is wide. This roof is going to be a mess.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm just going to try it and see if I can get it to work. I don't think it's going to work, though. I might have to make both ends of this the same size,
Okay. Yeah.
just because of
Yeah.
width.
Yeah. Yeah. This is Greyhawk Department of Transportation. Yep. Or Grey Kingdom Department of Transportation were probably the ones that were initially laid down this road 500 years ago or something like that. And then it has evolved over time, so to speak.
And you work for Katarina.
Yep. I'm going to go across here from the absolute shore because I don't want the road to be flooded easily. Okay, there we go. This is the one we need to go to. So now with a bit of luck, there should be.
Okay.
There should be. There's that one. Haha. Okay, so now we can take this one and connect it to here. So I'm just gonna go in here and just take this one down here.
If I'm thinking correctly.
There we go. Now we have a couple of trees that we need to do some clearing here. So there we go.
And then
perfect. Yay. Now I'm going to save because I've done the first bit of transportation design here. So yep.
Then we'll try to get it lined up.
I have 6 miles from down here to up to here, but 5-6 miles. Yeah. So now I need to connect these two here.
There we go. And hello, little Mike.
Yep. Hello.
Oh, I missed the centerpiece. Oh well, that's all right.
There we go. So I'm going to
get one of
go
those
in here and clearing up some forest.
Not rocket leaguing tonight, Mike? Usually you and Freaky are going crazy with Rocket League this time of night.
Okay.
Pull this back a little bit. It's too much of an overhang from my liking. Oh, they are. He's just watching and playing Rocket League.
Okay, so yeah. Being sneaky.
Okay.
Yep.
Oops, wrong thing. Yep. All right.
I'm going to go
last time when we had our stream, maybe not last time, but a couple times ago, we had a session of Rocket League afterward where we were all laughing so hard we could barely see.
Okay.
We were playing Rocket League with the Rumble turned on. Oh my God. You guys haven't tried Rocket League with Rumble and just played just a fun game? Yeah, you just kind of like laugh so hard you cry sometimes.
Then we have another road, and this one you know, Linda, because it's the one leading to Aldet.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Aldet is here, so we have one road coming down here. You took the one from Aldet and you went north here. This bit up here. That's the one you took towards Bogford.
That's when we went and did the assault on the keep too.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. That's the one. But there is also a road that goes southwest. That's the main road. You didn't go that way. That's the one I'm going to do next here.
Nice.
So it works this far. I think it works that far. And it works here, here.
Nice.
It's this bit here that it doesn't work. So I need to clear up this bit here. So now we need to look at what it looks like. Here we go. Need to look at it from the right direction first, from the south. Oops.
Duplicate.
Here we go.
And duplicate.
So we have all that comes from up here.
And duplicate.
So the road comes here, and now we need to look at this angle again. So we have
shrink this one down to fit that.
The road comes here,
That's the ticket.
and then it goes very almost completely flat, slightly down, a little bit up, and then it goes here, and then it has a slope down into the Well, there is steep as hell, that bit. So we need to change that bit. Oh, hang on a second. I can't do this because this has I forgot to put in. It doesn't have a flat river valley. It's at the wrong elevation, so we need to skip that one. So okay, so I can't do that one now because that one I need to because all the lakes have, you see the lakes have the depth on this one, so I need to have the one with the water surface and stuff, so that's why it needs to be tweaked, so I can't.
Oh,
So
that's the piece I'm missing, is the right side of the overhang. That's why I have to put the board on. I remember now. Because I have the overhang here, but he doesn't have the matching right side. So that's why I don't use that. Okay. I remember now. Yeah. So that means I need to...
So time to up to Senti up here by the lake. And that is, we need to have one from the lake, Senti Lake is up here. So it's up here somewhere. So we need to have a road going from here and along this side of the river all the way down to here.
This one, same concept.
But I think it's the first couple of miles are fairly straightforward because all we need to do is follow the river valley way up to
there and
here.
Stretch.
We can go around and do the whole way here. The tricky bit comes when we get to this point up here. It works this whole way here. It's when we get to this point here. This is the tricky bit here, because here you get these cliffs and stuff. So here you should probably and then climb slowly from here, climb along this bit here, and so it's actually up on the slope, and then the road should go here and then go around here and then back.
Roof
okay.
That way.
Now I have an idea of where to put it. I'm going to generate a new height that has this is actually flat where it's supposed to be. Okay. So let's go here and continue this.
Will this work to merge the two roof lines
we can
together?
kind of have fun with do some South Keep town instead. That's more fun to do that at the end. So I'm going to. There should be a little square one. Tiny little square one. Where the heck is a? There one. 5, and that's the one I want for building shapes. So here we go. 3, 4, 5.
I need to blend.
So
I'm going to hide that because it's not blending, right?
And South Keep is like a big castle. So the roads, I'm going to ignore the roads and just do so the castle is I'm on the wrong layer here, so I'm going to do and go to the here we go, old city copy. So now it's time to do the castle. I'm going to just ignore the put the roads on the hide that one.
Ticket. What is that? Oh, big old gap. Let's fix
that. So we have
a
bastion in this end, and then we have one in this end here.
Much better.
And then I'm going to make a northern one here.
And
a southern one here. And then I'm going to have a main one. Is that island flat, or is it some little...
Much better. Alright.
Where the heck is it?
Okay, now to do this roof. Gonna need... Where yet? Where are you? These again. This one and this one. Anna, how many times have you done a ton of work and then realized it was all on the wrong layer? And how do you recover that?
Yes, I have, but not too long, so to speak. I've worked probably a couple of hours. One of the thing, what you do is that after each number, you can see this is South Keep -12. So now when I start my next work session, I will have South Keep 13, so to speak. So it might actually be time to save it as a new. So I'm going to save this and then start a new one, because that way I have the untouched layer. So always go back, and now I have it on Dropbox too, which means that I can go back to revised. So make sure you so if I worked a couple hours on something, I save it as a new file, and then I can delete the old versions. I do normally keep every 5 versions or something like that, or every 2 or every 3 version, because these are big files that are like 20 gigabytes size, so they fill up a hard drive fairly quickly. So make sure that first of all, lock layers that you don't work with. If you, like when I do encounter maps, I switch between layers so often, because that's the one thing. So save under new names all the time. So now I have number 12. I've saved that one. So now I'm going to do save as, and I'm going to go in here and put 13 in. You can see I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. And then they're all in Dropbox now, but I'm going to take the old versions and just put them in my dump on another hard drive, where I just dump them, so to speak, because I only need to have the latest 2 or 3 versions in Dropbox. The other ones I can, and that way, if you screwed up, you have the untouched layers previous ones. So new file, keep strict file names, save often, save under new names, lock layers. That is my I've done it a lot of times, but nowadays not so much. And also when you work on things, put layer styles on them. Put like pink colors or something obvious on it, so when you paint on the wrong layer, it starts looking funny, so to speak. That don't have a lot of layers that look the same. If you can put like a color overlay on something. So for instance here, roads. I can for instance, if I want to try out a new road layer, I can go in and put a color overlay here, and I can put a nasty color on it, so to speak. And that way means that if I want to try out a new road layer, I can put the color overlay on the other one. That way I know which one I'm working on. And then once I'm done, I can just turn off that color overlay and it works, so to speak. So those are sure that you're working on the right layer. So
yeah, I've learned that the hard way a couple times.
Yeah.
I don't do it here because I'm doing incremental builds already.
Yeah.
But I have my previous version saved in Dropbox if I need it. So
and
once I start the detailing, then I'll start saving incremental.
Yeah. And you can also have too many layers and then merge them down as need be. Here you can just start doing roads, and then once you doodle a bit, you just merge it down. And once you're happy with it, you merge it down, so to speak. So that's another way you can do stuff. So yeah.
Too big.
And this is a little special castle, so to speak. I'm going to make it really huge. It's not that it's a building, all of it. It's simply because this area is flood prone. So they made walls and stuff, built a platform of stone so they can have an inner courtyard and stuff that is way higher than the surrounding terrain. So the castle can actually be flooded in spring floods without risk of floating away, so to speak. So therefore I'm just going to make the general layout of the castle here. So I'm just going to fill in this and then paint over the ugly bits.
And then let's do.
So this is basically a town as a castle. So everybody lives inside the castle, or most of them. There are people on the other side, but it's a very kind of defensible area. So I'm going to have walls, and so they basically built walls, and within the walls they raised the ground like 20 feet or 30 feet or something. So they dumped a lot of boulders and whatnot inside the stuff outside, but they kept them because it's I want to put some trees in there eventually too, so I'm going to so maybe we can put buildings all the way that way. Move the trees here and add the trees afterwards.
I will Where is it? This
So,
one
and
again.
then go in here and so, and then bastion on that side and one on this side that takes the road here, the bridge. There we go.
Make sure that's hidden. And then we will move this one over and stretch it some more.
Yeah.
There we go. Save that. Save all. I need to figure out. I might have to do some more work on my walls here because they're extending quite a ways. Let's get this edging on. Let's see what we have.
There we go.
Edging.
So I'm going to put roads up to here.
Oh, good. That's going to cover it up, I think. So I don't have to worry too much.
Here and here.
And
now it's time to...
Perfect. Make this work. Do I have a half roof? Negatory, I do not. Okay, so I need to...
And then we have the bridges there too. And we can remove the roads a little bit there.
And rotate.
There we go.
90.
So there we have the extent of elf, so to speak. And then there are buildings and stuff on the other, these small islands, especially this island. But they're also built on stilts a little bit. So, and they use this for grazing and stuff like that too in the same areas. And there, I will paint in buildings and stuff there too. But that's the... So now it's time to kind of clear up the stuff here. So I'm going to take this one and going to do overlay and see how that works. And oops,
back down. And then I gotta do a little bit of shifting here because it's not matching up quite right.
Okay, well, yep.
We'll move that way and...
No, I can use normal instead of... There we go.
And now this one can go up a little bit. Do I have an inside corner for that?
Yeah, so I'm painting the walls here. And some towers and stuff. And then
inside corner.
Go in here and...
So we'll move that over.
These are like stone buildings here, and then the other ones have more kind of roofs and stuff. So
up here, this up here.
Main keep. Now it's time to look in and see how many pixels big the main keep needs to be. It needs to be bigger than this. So I'm going to have the main keep be this big here.
Okay, so do I have an inside corner? I do. Okay. Okay, so
I can do
this is got to deal with.
So now it's time to do roads again here. 3 pixels, 4 pixels.
Get this
that's the wrong. There we go.
And get this into place. Okay, it matches there, but it doesn't match on the other side. Grr.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll have to make it match best I can. At least one way I can get away with it and fudge it.
Yeah. Now I'm going to go up to that and see what it looks like. Yeah, that kind of looks okay.
That looks good.
I need to start thinking a little bit more about how to go about doing that. Maybe a little bit too big.
Back extensively, but now it's going to stick out on top.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
really.
going to save that one, and I'm going to sleep on that one a little bit more.
That is not going to work.
Okay, yeah.
All right, well.
And I need to use the bathroom too, so might be time to wrap this up.
Yeah. I'm going to be fighting with this roof for some time to come, so.
Yep.
Because of the way they designed it, and working from their design with the pieces I have is complicated sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Now I
it just
forgot when
doesn't
we had
match
the
up.
next. We have a Gabin or extra legends and lore and stuff. It's go to Lord Gesumba and see his schedule. I don't have it in my head now, so it's kind of yeah, because we kind of toying around since it's New Year's and stuff like that. So I have to wish everybody New Year, Happy New Year.
Here, everybody, and hope it all works well for you.
Yep.
And it does not throw you any big curveballs.
Exactly. Yep. Only good ones. Yep.
Yep. Good ones are the ones to have.
And lots of gaming and stuff too for next year. I hope for
Speaking
everybody.
of gaming, I bought a new RPG today called Bah Humbug. I bought one called The Streets of London. So we'll see what that thing where you play police constables. So we'll see if it's anything good or not.
Oops. Yep.
All right. Well, this one's going to have a funky little funny thing on here.
That is kind of cool. Yeah, that looks awesome. Yeah.
You were welcome anytime, Barley.
Oh yeah, thank you. You're welcome, Barl. So yep, doomed. You're all doomed. Yep, we're all doomed. Yep.
I've gotten to the point where just like whatever.
Yep. Okay. So yep. So thank you everybody who stopped by and yeah, catch you guys next week for next year. For some more legends and lore Gabin and stuff, and there will be like a year review and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for being here, keeping us company and asking awesome questions and stuff. So it's great. So yep. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you, Pete Bog. Yep. So we go to wrap it up and